4 massive fir logs, each weighing over 12 tons and reaching 17 meters in length, are dragged down steep mountain slopes. This is the Kiotoshi, the most perilous segment of the Onbashira festival. Hundreds of men, often riding the logs, attempt to control the uncontrolled descent. The logs accelerate rapidly, often tumbling end over end, crushing anything in their path. Fatalities are a recognized, though tragic, element of this 1,200-year-old ritual. The goal is to deliver these sacred pillars to the 4 shrines of Suwa Taisha, replacing the old ones in a profound act of spiritual renewal. This biennial event, occurring only in the year of the tiger and the year of the monkey, is not merely a spectacle. It is a direct engagement with raw, untamed nature, essential to the Shinto belief system of the Suwa region. Suwa Taisha, or Suwa Grand Shrine, is one of Japan's oldest and most significant Shinto complexes, uniquely divided into 4 separate shrines: the upper shrines, Kamisha Hanmiya and Kamisha Mayamiya, and the lower shrines, Shimosha Harumiya and Shimosha Akimiya. Unlike most Shinto shrines, the main halls, or honden, are absent at Suwa Taisha. Instead, the kami are believed to reside in sacred objects or natural features, specifically the 4 Onbashira pillars themselves, which mark the sacred boundaries. The festival occurs precisely every 6 years, ensuring the spiritual power of the shrine is perpetually renewed. This 6-year interval is calculated based on the Chinese zodiac calendar, strictly adhering to the designated years.
The principal deity enshrined at Suwa Taisha is Takeminakata no Kami, a powerful god associated with wind, water, hunting, and military prowess. According to the Kojiki, Takeminakata was defeated by Takemikazuchi during the transfer of the land to the imperial ancestors, and subsequently confined to the Suwa region. This narrative establishes the shrine's unique position within the Shinto pantheon. The renewal ritual of Onbashira is fundamentally an act of appeasement and revitalization for Takeminakata, ensuring the continued protection and prosperity of the region. The 4 pillars symbolize the 4 corners of the sacred precinct, anchoring the kami's presence firmly within the physical landscape. The selection process, known as motomegiri, begins months before the main event. Specific momi fir trees, chosen for their size, straightness, and spiritual purity, are identified deep within the mountains of the Kirigamine range. These trees must be flawless, as they will serve as temporary vessels for the divine spirit. Once felled using traditional axes, the logs are stripped of their bark and meticulously prepared. The Yamadashi phase involves dragging these massive logs out of the forest using ropes and human power alone. This initial movement is a test of communal strength and spiritual dedication, requiring thousands of participants to navigate challenging terrain before reaching the Kiotoshi slopes. The Kiotoshi, meaning log falling, takes place on a steep, prepared slope called the Kiotoshi Zaka. The logs are positioned at the top, and riders, known as Kiotoshi Shu, mount the front end. The objective is not to stop the log, but to guide its trajectory using ropes and body weight, preventing catastrophic deviation. The riders risk being thrown off or crushed as the log gains momentum, sometimes reaching speeds exceeding 40 kilometers per hour. The act of riding the log is considered an immense honor and a purification ritual, symbolizing the human willingness to face death and chaos for the sake of the divine renewal. Successful descent is met with massive celebration, confirming the community's spiritual fortitude.
After the perilous descent, the logs enter the Satobiki, or town-pulling, phase. The logs are fitted with temporary axles and pulled through the streets of Suwa by teams of hundreds of local residents. This procession is characterized by elaborate costumes, traditional music, and chanting, transforming the dangerous logs into objects of communal pride. A crucial element of Satobiki is the Kawagoshi, the river crossing, where the logs are floated across the Miyagawa River. This transition from the wild mountains to the civilized town signifies the integration of the raw spiritual power into the human community before the final installation. The final act of the festival is Tatekake, the raising of the pillars at the 4 shrine locations. This is achieved using a complex system of ropes, pulleys, and A-frame scaffolding, relying entirely on human strength and precise coordination. The logs are slowly pulled upright, often taking hours for each pillar. As the log reaches verticality, riders often climb to the top, performing daring feats of balance, symbolizing the successful anchoring of the divine power. Once erected, the pillars stand approximately 16 meters high, marking the corners of the sacred space, replacing the previous set which stood for 6 years. The Onbashira pillars are not merely decorative, they function as Shin-tai, or temporary dwelling places for the kami, and as sacred boundary markers, known as yorishiro. Their presence defines the perimeter of the shrine's spiritual influence. The act of replacement ensures that the spiritual energy remains vibrant and uncorrupted by time. The 4 pillars at each shrine correspond to the 4 cardinal directions, establishing a cosmological order within the physical space. The old pillars are left to decay naturally, returning their material essence to the earth, completing the cycle of renewal and decay inherent in Shinto philosophy.
Onbashira embodies the core Shinto concept of Tokowaka, the perpetual renewal and rejuvenation of life and spirit. The deliberate use of raw, unprocessed wood and the reliance on human effort underscore the importance of purity and direct engagement with nature. The danger inherent in the festival is viewed not as recklessness, but as a necessary sacrifice and a demonstration of faith, purifying the participants through intense physical and spiritual exertion. This cyclical renewal contrasts sharply with Western concepts of permanence, emphasizing the transient yet powerful nature of the divine presence in the world. Onbashira remains one of Japan's most visceral and globally recognized Shinto festivals, drawing millions of spectators every 6 years. Its continuation, despite the inherent risks and modern safety concerns, highlights the deep cultural commitment to ancestral tradition and spiritual continuity in the Suwa region. The festival serves as a powerful reminder that the relationship between humanity, nature, and the divine often requires profound effort and sacrifice. The next cycle will commence in 2028, continuing the 1,200-year legacy of danger, devotion, and divine renewal.